How's my Seahawks hat look as we sit in a very favorable number 1 seed in the NFC after a very, very good to us bye week? It always feels you just get to relax. It's a bye week. You sit back, you watch football that's not important, and then when it's all said and done, your team got better for it. You're sitting alone at the top. And the Bills, September's over. So
yep,
here we go. The Bills are going to go 4-12. That's what that's the prediction here at On and Off the Field, the award-winning podcast. On and Off the Field with Durf and Dylan. Let me put the banner away because I always forget to do this. That's Durf because it doesn't have the names there if there's a banner up.
Oh yeah,
and we always have a banner going. So
right, yeah.
Those are the names. Danny Boy was watching the live stream. I don't know if he's still in here. But Jimmy Garoppolo looked pretty good on Sunday. Didn't look bad.
No,
I'm just gonna get him triggered by saying Jimmy G is a good quarterback. Even though I don't even believe that. I'm just gonna get him mad though. But welcome to On and Off the Field with Durf and Dylan. It's great to be here. Oh my God! You know what I never did? I never updated our standings.
Oh, I think I got you though.
Did you? I wouldn't be surprised. I had a bad week.
The three games that we differed was Steelers, Browns, Chiefs, Bills, Cardinals, Cowboys.
I switched to the Steelers on Sunday though.
Oh, did you?
So we actually agreed
so we
on
split
that.
then.
Okay, so we split
because you took the Chiefs and I took the Cardinals.
Okay, yeah. One Sunday came along and I was making my official Sunday picks. I just something didn't feel right. I went with my gut and switched picks, and boy, oh boy, was my gut just on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Alan's in the house with Strikeout Beer. He just gave the stream a like. Thanks, boss man.
Nice.
He's showing up before the show is over this week.
There you go.
That's always a positive. Let's get this show kind of rolling here. I'm going to fix the whiteboard. Tony's just saying hi. Just saying hi. Oh, that's right. The boys from Strikeout Beer heading to the Game 1 of the World Series tonight.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Good times.
I forgot. Yeah, so have fun. Have fun. That's going to be a blast. Make sure to take videos and whatnot. And Dan has raw chicken on his hands and couldn't respond fast enough to tell you that stop with Jimmy Garoppolo. He's over here trying to cook some dinner. He has raw chicken. Raw chicken. That means he's making a meal. Like he's trying.
Oh,
he's not just putting some cup of noodles in the microwave. No. Do you put cup of noodles in the microwave? I've never made. I think you just get hot water, don't you? You don't microwave that.
Cup of noodles?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never had it.
Okay. Yeah, neither have I. I've never been a ramen person in general.
And I used to eat ramen when I was a kid, but not now.
I've never liked ramen in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like when we did Boy Scouts, like the big thing was like boiled hot dogs, and then you use the hot dog water to like make the ramen. I've always hated ramen. Never liked it in my life. But Tony, he'll be back at the end of the show on Thursday, as usual. As we're getting ready to sign off, he'll say hello. I can't wait for that moment. Have fun, man. And tell Rapid Dave I said hi. And what do you mean you don't own a microwave? These comments, everything. This is going to derail the entire show. How do you not own a microwave? I have a microwave sitting in my basement. If you want a microwave, Dan, I have one for you. Just so you just know that I have that for you. And Joshua Bailey coming in the house again. Ramen is gold. Yeah, just never been there for me. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's just me.
It's probably been like 10 years since I've had ramen.
No. Dan says they freak him out. Of all the things in this world that you're scared, I wonder if there's a phobia for that. Can we get the I team on that? Is there a phobia for microwave-ophobia? We need to get the I-team on that to see if there's a phobia for microwaves. That's something we're going to have to work on. Corey McLendon in the house. He tuned in. Tuned in, one or the other.
Nice.
I figured out, like, if I have the stream going on my phone, I can see who, like, comes in.
Oh, very nice.
It says, like, this person's watching with you. Which is dope. So
there you go.
Now. All right. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
A little bit of comments to start out the show. If you're listening to this podcast later on, you're just like, talk about sports already. Sorry. Sorry. We'll get to that roughly right now. What was I supposed to look? I was supposed to look up something. I was going to do something real quick, but now I forgot. So, in the meantime, make sure everyone is flossing. And Durf will tell you how to floss right now.
Absolutely. So, just so everyone knows, floss is follow, like, observe, subscribe, and share. And you can do 4 out of 5 of those things by going to Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter and looking up On and Off the Field podcast, or OOTF podcast for short. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, which we are live currently on, and Facebook as well. But you can also go back to YouTube to catch all of our past videos and our extra content that we have on the YouTube channel. Make sure to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts so that we know how we're doing and what you like or dislike about the show. And you can find all of these links at onandoffthefield.com, along with our fundraising efforts, our sweet merchandise, and to learn more about Dylan, myself, and this award-winning show.
And we have a new code for the merch. It's it's a little late. We're already 20 days into October, but the promo code until the end of the month, and then I'll have a new one for November. I plan on doing this monthly just to keep the promo codes fun. It's probably a bad idea, but if you want the promo code, you got to watch the show. So that's like kind of my thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, the promo code for the next 11 days is spooky. SPOOKY. Spooky.
Nice.
For 10% off your purchase. No new merch yet. I have to get with somebody to help me on the merch. I have to find a reliable graphic person because I just can't. I have tried to make it, and then I look at the design afterwards, and there's no way I can put that on a shirt. I would feel bad if someone bought that. So, so we're not going to do that. I have to actually find someone. I Googled it. Microvophobia is the fear of microwave ovens, most commonly being due to the fear of radiation. It can also manifest as the idea that a microwave will blow up. Microvophobia.
All right.
There you go. That's what Dan has.
Official. That's what Dan has. Yep.
Who came up with floss? I came up with that randomly during the show one week. I just thought it was funny because I had this up here, and I was just like, wait a minute, that's an acronym. So that was a fun idea. Over under on Durf's Yaz tonight. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Dan came up with the drinking game in the OOTF family group page. You just take a drink every time Durf says yeah. And I think the consensus was you'd probably be dead by the halfway point.
Most likely.
Most likely. Christian Mosley in the house. What's going on? Welcome to the show. Stick around, have some fun, grab a drink. I'm going to reorganize the room here soon. Maybe not for Thursday's show, but I'm going to figure out. I got to figure something out because this just isn't doing it for me.
No.
What's the link? Says Josh.
I believe for the merchandise would probably be that question.
Yeah, you just go to onoutthefield.com and there's a store tab, and the link's right there. That'll take you to the store. onoutthefield.com. That's where you want to go for everything on and off the field related. And right there on the homepage now is I got my blogs, writing
Nice.
blogs for LK Sports Writing.
Mm-hmm.
So the link to that's on there. And just the radiation part. Oh, so not even the so that's weird. I could have swore it would have been for the blowing up part. I've never heard someone come at me and say that they're scared of the radiation from a microwave. I could have swore it would have been the blowing up part. Wow. Interesting.
Makes sense. Yeah.
All right. I get it. I get it. I've never cared because I don't know. I have so many medical issues in my life. I've had like 30 MRIs, 20 CAT scans. You know, I'm probably going to die already. A microwave's not going to end it for me. So appreciate you, Josh. And straight Chernobyl. Your microwave just as bad as Chernobyl, says Dan. All right. Let's get going. Durf is leading the Fantasy Football League in first place with a nice come from behind victory.
Yeah.
Who'd you have? Who? Oh, Clyde Edwards-Helaire probably saved you, huh?
Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Kenyon. Oh, no.
Okay.
Clyde Edwards, he didn't do bad, but Kyler Murray was the savior last night. And
Kyler Murray only completed 9 passes last night.
I think
9
I had
passes.
Wow, I didn't realize that stat, but I believe. Oh yeah, so last night I had 3 guys playing with Kenyon Drake, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Kyler Murray. And between Kyler Murray and Kenyon Drake, I got like 60 points.
Yeah, Kyler Murray went 9 for 24. If you just stop right there, that's a bad night. But for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Kenyon Drake had 20 carries, 164 yards, including that long, I think it was the long 69-yard run at the end of the game, and 2 touchdowns. And Kyler Murray also had 10 carries, 74 yards, and a touchdown. So, yeah, between 2 of them, and then just you take away, which, okay, here comes the apology. I listened to Dan Patrick this morning, and they actually found the Chiefs, like media guy. He answered a lot of the questions about the team and whatnot. They asked him how the proper pronunciation of Clyde's name, and I have to apologize to the Monday Night Football crew. I think it's Steve Levy. I had to apologize to because it is actually pronounced Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It's a hard E.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. Straight from the Chiefs organization. And I tore Steve apart for it. I was like, you can't, it's like, I could have swore that was wrong. If you just look, like, why? I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's weird. But
because the guys from last night kept saying Helaire.
Yeah, exactly.
On the H, I'm like, you're saying it wrong.
They were saying it wrong. Like definitely like Troy and Joe.
Yeah.
They were saying it with an H. They were like Helaire, like a hard H sound. So they were definitely doing it wrong. But yeah, it's apparently a hard E. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So I apologize, Steve. That's my bad. Dan Patrick corrected me this morning. So yeah, great night for the Cardinals as we covered those stats. Obviously, Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a great night. You know how if you follow on social media, I always type out Ryan Tannehill in all caps. That's what I'm going to do for Clyde now. I'm just going to emphasize the E hard. Ryan Tannehill and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That's what we have now. Welcome to the league. All right, so we're going to jump into our 16 minutes in. We're going to talk about sports. This is no longer a sports show.
Oh,
we're straying further and further away from sports. But first, we got to talk about those other sports. Oh, the Packers. It was a bad night. A bad day, Lordy.
Yeah.
That was hard to watch. I felt
difficult.
bad for Aaron. The World Series is starting, though.
Yeah.
Baseball did it.
They did it.
Imagine yourself 3 months ago, and you would like 3 months ago. There were a lot of people around the sports world saying there's no chance we have a World Series.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they start playing, they don't finish the season. That's what virtually every single person was thinking, except the very optimal people, like the people that are optimists, glass half full kind of people.
Right.
But I was one of the, it used to be half empty, and then it got tipped over because someone coughed, and it's just a mess. That's where I thought baseball was. But yeah, here we are. Dodgers versus the Rays. Game 1, first pitch at 8:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Clayton Kershaw, Tyler Glasnow. Is it Glasnow or Glasnow? Is it like a silent W?
I would think it's a silent W, but that wouldn't surprise me if it was Glasnow, like Glasgow.
Yeah. I kind of want to go to the Glasnow.
Okay.
That sounds better. I'm
like
probably
snow.
wrong. We're definitely wrong.
Like Glusno.
Glasnow. Oh, yeah. Let's go with that. Just like we have Donald Parham. Yeah, here we go.
Glusno.
Let's just say everything wrong. Hey, Jim Fortin is in the house. Old Army bud.
And then all these guys can add us, and then we'll just grow.
Yeah. Come on the show and correct us.
Get someone to tweet at them with our horrible pronunciation of their names, and then they'll be like, "No, we gotta set this straight." And then all right, come on the show.
I feel like this is something we can build off of. We're gonna work on that.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a video. We should make a video compilation of us just saying people's names wrong. It'll go viral. Look at these idiot podcasters can't say a single name right, and then boom, we're off. For just the fourth time since the wild card was added to baseball in 1995, we get a World Series featuring the teams with the best record in each league, which is the Rays. The Rays have the best record in the league.
Mm-hmm. What
a weird world we're living in. The last time that happened was the Red Sox versus the Cardinals in 2013. And, the part that everyone loves talking about, including myself, the Dodgers have the second highest payroll in Major League Baseball at about $107 million, just $2 million behind the Yankees.
Yep.
The Rays have the third lowest. I mean, this is
and that's the problem with baseball.
It's like David versus Goliath. I think their total payroll is $30 million. I think, and that might be too high. I think it might be. Yeah, there
was the comparison that it was like Clayton Kershaw and Mookie Betts, $28 million prorated, $28 million the entire Tampa Bay Rays team.
Exactly, and this is why I hate baseball. I don't understand how this is allowed. Where some teams can just be like, "Yeah, we'll pay you $40 million. Come on over, you're a great player," and then the Rays are just sitting here like, "Help, give us money." The Baltimore Orioles help.
I'm surprised there's not something with the. I would assume it's like the MLBPA, like the players union for MLB would be like, why they would not try to help the teams out, help the players on those teams that can't pay them as much, try to create the salary cap.
Well, situation. I don't think the players have too much of a problem because.
Oh yeah, they just go to somewhere else.
If the player's good enough, they'll just go somewhere else and get paid. Yeah. So I don't think that's too much of a player issue. I don't know who would bring it up because I guess it's not that big a problem unless you're the guy running the team and you're like, I don't have enough money to sign these big stars. My team sucks. Help. That's where I think the ownership would come in and be like, I want my team to be good, but I have no money. And then the Rays go and ruin it for everyone. Look, what you can make it to the World Series on a $30 million payroll. You'll be fine. Shut up, everyone. But watch them win the World Series or at least play a competitive World Series, and this roster will get decimated because teams like the Yankees and the Dodgers and I don't know, all these other high payroll teams will be coming and grabbing these players for pickings off this roster, giving them $40 million a season now. I guess maybe baseball's not that high, like $25 million a season, I guess.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't think. Oh, I just got a notification that said Rob Manfred likes the expanded playoffs. Maybe that continues.
Oh,
Interesting. So who do you got? World Series.
I'm taking the Dodgers.
That's fair. I mean, I'm not a baseball junkie. I can't sit here and tell you that the matchup with Kershaw and Glasnow, like that's going to be, one guy's got a wicked fastball. I'm not going to be able to sit here and tell you those things, but it's just David and Goliath. And the one thing I do know, just strictly because I wrote one baseball article, was that the Rays like to strike out a lot and the Dodgers like to strike people out. So it's going to be it might be an issue getting on base for the Rays. The Rays problem, home run or bust. If they don't hit a home run, they're not scoring.
It's either flash or nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very little. It's going to be hit a single, hit a double. All right, we got runners on the corner. All right, we hit a sac fly. It's like you might get a guy walked on base and hit a 2-run homer. That's about all you're getting. That's their offense. So I'm gonna take the Dodgers on 4. I don't want to take the Dodgers because I love underdogs, but the Dodgers are motivated. They need to win. They've been here 4 times in the last 4 years or 5 years?
5 years, yeah, something like that. Well, I think the one time was the Yankees, but I mean the Dodgers have I don't know.
There's a lot of pressure for them to win.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, it definitely is, and I think the tone of the Dodgers really gets started depending on how Kershaw plays tonight,
and that probably won't go well.
Probably
they
not.
were talking about Clayton Kershaw is the best regular season pitcher in pretty much the history of baseball. But if you look at his postseason stats, I don't have them pulled up because I wasn't prepared to talk about this, but they are very bad. Yeah. In case you didn't already know that, like if you follow baseball at all and just follow like the superstars of the league, for a fact Clayton Kershaw is not a postseason pitcher. But they're still going to wheel his butt out there onto the mound and say, "Good luck, bud."
Well, if they just get him through game 1 and then they can go to someone else for the next couple of games, then they kind of like, we got that one. Well, yeah, but they can at least get that. If they for some reason lose tonight with him up there, then they can run the other three starters the next 3 games. Then they get that maybe potentially a 3-1 lead. Then you take another loss again in game 5, 3-2, and then you game 6, you're done.
I like the logic. Logically, it makes sense. We'll see what happens.
See what happens.
My mom came in and said enough about baseball, so let's move on to basketball.
All right.
She hates that too. The Pacers got their coach. Multi-year deal for the Raptors assistant, Nate Bjorkgren.
Yeah.
It's like very like Thor.
Yeah, like Bjorkgren, yeah.
It's like what's that? Is that like it's not Scottish?
No,
it's like a Viking's name. It's
like Nordic.
That's what I was thinking of. But Nate. You got this really cool Nordic last name and then you go with Nate.
Well, it's probably like Nathaniel, but like
Nathaniel. I like that better. Go with Nathaniel Bjorkgren. Just another guy's name we can't say right. This is why people go to like broadcast school because they take a lot of classes on name pronunciation. Yeah.
And then they still throw curveballs at you.
This is probably why we don't talk about hockey at all. Someone asked me, why don't you guys talk about hockey? One, I don't know anything about hockey. Like hockey free agency is going on right now. If somebody picks up a hockey player for their team, I don't know if it's a good pickup or not. I don't know. Yeah. The Penguins grabbed defenseman someone. Okay, did they need a defenseman? I don't know. I'm just waiting for the Kraken to get going so I can watch Seattle hockey.
There you go.
That's all I care about. And then number 2, I can't say their names. I can't even say Glasnow. I don't know what his name is. You want me to pronounce some of these hockey players' names? Just look at any roster. There's probably 10 names on a hockey roster that you can't even pronounce.
Probably not, yeah.
I know I can't. So I'm not even going to try. Godspeed. I'll cover the game sometimes. I'll cover the playoffs. That's fine. I'll let you know what's happening, but I'm not going to not getting into the details. All right. Everyone's asking for football, mainly my parents. My dad's just like, what about football? All right. We'll talk about football. All right. Everyone's getting all upset about we're 27 minutes into the show and virtually talk nothing about sports in general, and then start with baseball. We lost all of our viewers once we started talking about baseball. All right, NFL news. The Dolphins. Dolphins are on their bye week this week, but they're still in the news.
They still, yeah.
They're down one game in the AFC East. They're only one game ahead of the Patriots in the standings. They're sitting at 3-3, almost halfway through the season. Here comes Tua time. It's Tua time, baby.
Oh yeah, Tua time.
I don't know. I have
but...
so many mixed feelings on this. 27 minutes in, but Durf has 5 beers down. I'm guessing that's in relation to you saying yeah.
Well, at least he's keeping track.
He's keeping track. All right. Thank you.
I'm trying
Dan.
not to say it. I'm really trying hard.
I don't care if you say
it's
it.
Out of habit. It's professionalism. You know, you try to get better doing this online here, but hey, he probably can't spell because he's 5 beers down. So
exactly,
there's some excuse there. So why?
Yeah.
What
are you trying to say? Durf has what? I don't. You're drunk. Go home. Yeah, Josh says Fitz has been playing decent. He has been. They posted the stats of Ryan Fitzpatrick today. It was like 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns. He has a 3-3 record. He's been playing very well. And I don't know if the Dolphins are. This seems like a sign that the Dolphins still don't think they're ready to win. And they still want to have a bad record and still have roughly a top 10 draft pick, at least top 15. Let's throw 2 in there. We're doing 2 well. Let's throw 2 in there and see what happens. That's kind of what it feels like to me. The dude threw 2 passes against the game at the end of the game against the Jets, which was so cool. And I forgot he was left-handed for a second. He went out there and threw that 1 pass on the run. It's like, what am I looking at?
Wrong hand.
You're throwing it with the wrong hand. I haven't seen a left-handed quarterback. Is Michael Vick the last left-handed quarterback we've seen?
No. Is there another one right now?
Is there?
I could have swore there's another left-handed quarterback right now. I don't know the name offhand, but I am certain there's another left-handed quarterback in the league right now.
All right, I'm gonna I-team this. Give me your opinion on
what?
Fitzmagic being benched for Tua.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You cut out there. That's all. I don't know. I feel like Fitzpatrick. He's probably coming up the time, like his due time of like getting benched and like playing like garbage. And Brian Flores is probably just trying to get ahead of the curve because they're on a bye week, so it gives Tua 2 weeks now to really get those reps in with the first team so that he's completely as ready as possible against the Rams, who is their Week 8 matchup. But I don't know. I still think it's a little surprising. But then again, when you're crushing the Jets 24-0 and you're no brainer to put him in the game in the last drive. But I don't know. I'm interested to see what Tua can do even for like a full quarter as compared to how Fitzpatrick's been running that system. And I'm curious to see if Chan Gailey adjusts at all with Tua versus having Fitzpatrick out there.
Yeah, I think they kind of showed off his ability right there on his first throw. I mean, they rolled him out. I think he was supposed to stay in the pocket. He ended up rolling out. But I think they're already adjusting a little bit. Just I think
Mhm.
they're sitting on the sideline. They're up. I think they knew for a while Tua was going to play at the end of that game,
Mhm.
and they already gave him a couple plays. Hey, let's try these. You're going to hand the ball off, and then you can roll out a little bit, and then you're going to throw for a first down, and everyone will be happy.
Yeah.
Everyone's intrigued to see what Tua's going to do.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, that's
Definitely.
without a doubt. People are stoked. Excuse me. I just don't know if it's the right time. If the Dolphins keep getting up big in games, or if they even get down big in games,
Mm-hmm.
like those where he can get his snaps, then I don't understand why you'd want to throw him out there, potentially get him hurt. Potentially get him hurt physically and mentally. Because his first game up is going to be against the Rams. Right. Oh boy,
Aaron Donald going to be
Aaron Donald
coming for him.
I think like the Rams already know the game plan. This news came out and they're like, "All right, boys, week 8, just blitz." All right, good practice, good talk. All right, everyone go, just show up for the game. We're gonna blitz. He's obviously mobile. We saw it against the Jets on his first pass. It just seems weird. It just feels weird. You're up. You got 3-3 record. You're second in the division. Why would you want to change things? Unless your goal is not to win. If your goal is not to win, then you can have a change at quarterback. Changing a quarterback's a big deal, especially from a vet to a rookie. It's not like it's just like, oh yeah, throw him in there. He's been with the team for 3 years. It just makes no sense. Big list here. Tua is the first NFL only left-handed quarterback, is the first southpaw passer selected in the draft in 10 years. Tua was selected number 5 by the Dolphins, a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, I did Google it. The last left-handed quarterback was Kellen Moore, who played from 2012 to 2017, and then Tim Tebow was also left-handed. And then it was Pat White, Matt Leinart, a bunch of people you don't know, and then Michael Vick.
Okay. So he's the only active one then.
Yep. That's why it looks so weird. It's just like, what are you doing? It's just weird angle. Yeah. So I think we're in agreement then. Just weird.
Yep.
Weird
Definitely
timing.
weird.
But we're excited. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Everyone's tuning in for the Dolphins week 8. It's going to be good. Oh, boy, the Tennessee Titans. The NFL and the NFLPA finished their investigation with the Titans, and they found that the Titans had poor communication of the NFL protocols and occasions of not wearing masks at their training facility and not socially distancing. But there's a potential fine for the team, and it's going to be they're going to get a fine, but no other punishments are expected.
Mm-hmm.
No suspensions, no draft picks, nothing.
Nothing. I'm surprised.
They held the league hostage for 2 weeks,
and
they're going to get fined. I'm sure it'll be a lot.
Not even individually fined.
Oh, yeah,
it's just the team. Just the team.
Yeah.
Like, they're not even pinpointing people. Like, you messed up. Like, nope, the team messed up, and the Titans are going to be like, all right, here's your money.
Yeah, that's
and
easy.
Move on.
Yeah, teams have money.
Yeah,
that's like the weakest punishment you can give a team for anything, taking their money. No one cares. They don't teams don't care if you fine them. There was a fine back in the day. What didn't the Patriots get fined like $500 million back in the day when they got caught cheating
from Spygate? Probably.
Yeah. That's a fine that has to be listened to. That's a big fine. But what the Titans will probably get fined $50 million. Somewhere between 25 to 100, depending on how hard they want to hit them.
Right. Yeah.
Obviously, that's a big gap, but usually that's what they're fines. The lowest is 25, and then you kind of
for a team fine, it'll probably be something like that.
That's nothing.
Just right, and I don't know. It feels like the NFL's not taking it they're taking it seriously by investigating them, which is good. Like, call them out on this, like shame them on national media for figuring out what they were doing wrong, because other teams clearly know how to get their stuff together and follow protocols. But they were more worried about health and safety of the players, and put that in air quotes because it was really health and safety of their pockets for the NFL. Is pretty much how it was, because the Titans are undefeated, so you don't want to make one of the ponies of the NFL leading the show kind of lose a game or had them forfeit a draft pick. But I still think they should lose a draft pick come next April.
Yeah, imagine if a nobody team like the Jets or the Jags pulled something like this. They would have suspended half the organization. Anyone they saw on videotape not wearing a mask would have been suspended. Yeah, it's a good point. You can't take away the Titans. They're leading the league right now. Everyone wants to watch them. Not leading the league, but they're very exciting to watch, especially this last Sunday.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, we shall see.
Disappointing. It's disappointing.
It is disappointing. Like, I'm not saying, like, first round, second round draft pick. I mean, that would make a statement, but let's take away that third day draft pick. Like, oh, you got one in the fifth round? Gone.
Yeah.
One in the sixth round? Gone. Like, make them have to work to keep that team together.
And even just simply, if they have a compensatory pick coming up, a lot of teams know they're going to get at least 1, 2, 3 coming up, whatever the case may be. If they have one coming up, take that.
Right.
Because then you don't even know what round you're taking, really. You're just you're just not going to get that extra pick now. I feel like that'd be not, at least fair. So,
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That's disappointing, but we got our off the field MVP, NFL PA community MVP is actually a Buffalo Bill who liked our tweet.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was really cool.
I reached out to him and he didn't respond.
Yeah, I saw that. That's no bueno.
He liked the tweet though, so I'll take what I can get.
Hey, I thought it's a positive.
Harrison Phillips of the Buffalo Bills, nicknamed Hot Dog Arms. There's an Instagram page.
Is it
hot dog? Yeah,
really?
Hot Dog Arms.
Normally it's Horrible Harry.
Yeah, that's his Twitter handle.
Yeah,
but someone has an Instagram out there called Hot Dog Arms Harrison, and it's like Instagram pages of just like it's just normal pictures, and then he has hot dog arms. I don't know why. It's something funny I follow. But he continued his support of the special needs community by hosting a drive-in movie event for 200 families that featured sports play packs, presentations by the police and fire departments, and a Zoom chat with the Buffalo defensive linemen. This was all part of Harrison Phillips Playmakers. It's a non-for-profit called Playmakers, inclusive sports, character, and relationships. Oh, I didn't even... God, this is going to be bad. Here we go. I normally try to share my screen before we start, but everyone hang on to your hats.
That's good bad.
We made it.
Oh, we did it.
So this is his website. Let's see here. Let's go to the About page. Let's learn about Harrison Phillips, the Playmakers. Maybe. All right.
You can do it, Internet. You can do it.
To understand why Coach Roz created an organization to help disadvantaged kids, you just need to meet him. I'm looking for a statement here. Oh, I got a lot of stuff here. So it was founded in 2009. It's a non-for-profit that helps the community and does a lot for kids with special needs or just people with special needs in general. It holds a lot of events. It's really, it is great. I skimmed it over earlier, like very just before this show. Didn't prepare for it as well as I should have. But this is what the NFLPA had on him. His quote, "I'm extremely honored to be named. It validates the idea of paying it forward and giving back," which is the whole idea, along with renting out the entire drive-in movie theater. Gave out the play packs filled with sports equipment, hosted a socially distanced contest of Simon Says, invited the local police departments and fire departments. Through his nonprofit, The Playmakers, Phillips works to promote social inclusion and kindness while helping disadvantaged children with developmental differences and special needs. That's virtually the point of The Playmakers. So there's a lot in here. This is the NFLPA website, NFLPA.com. You can go to theplaymakers.org. That's his non-for-profit, and you can learn about this. And I sure will. I'm interested to learn more about it because it sounds like he does a lot, but just based off of this alone. So,
Oh yeah, he's pretty active in the community with Buffalo.
I'm sure you know a lot about.
I mean,
at least you know about him more than I do.
don't
probably.
know. I don't know specifics, but I know I've seen it numerous times of like on social media, just like the Buffalo Bills like saying like what's going on with what their players are doing in the community, and it's usually always him. Or even at the games, you hear about it too. Like when they announce like what players or like what groups were brought into the games. Like by certain players or certain like coaches or people about from the Bills, like they you
like
buy a section of seat,
yeah,
right, yep. I mean, he's always one that has like multiple groups listed under his name, and it's just good to see that someone that young who makes a lot of money for playing football. I mean, he's still on his rookie contract, but just immediately giving back, and I think that's always just good to see. It's a good mentor status to have to show younger people like you can do good.
Yeah, and it goes into like I always think about Zion.
Mm-hmm.
He was a rookie. He's made millions off of Nike, so like he's doing very well financially. But the fact that he had the wherewithal, when COVID hit, that he helped pay the salaries of arena workers when the NBA got shut down. I mean, I think this is a majority of this next generation coming in. It's just people that are smart, just good at giving back, charity-minded kind of people.
Yep.
You're seeing that more often in the young people, and I absolutely love that. TJ Burns is in the house. What's up, bye? I saw that you gave Strikeout Beer a bunch of beer. Good on you. We can be next if you want, but I don't. Probably not. I don't. Can you? I think we've had this discussion before. I don't think you can mail beer. I don't think that's a thing.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
It's probably frowned upon.
So we're going to be moving into Week 6 recap.
Yeah.
And Week 6 was good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Week 6 had like some pretty good games out there. Unfortunately, the primetime games were absolute trash. So I ended up staying up until like 11:30 at night for no reason to watch these horrible games. That was my night. How was your night? Yeah, off topic. Are y'all buying into the Bucks after that beatdown?
Yeah, kinda.
It's tough. I need like if you ever watch a show, I always say these things, like if you follow trends of the show, I at least have to see a trend before I really jump on things. Even with the Bills, I wanted to wait until we got out of September because the trend with the Bills is they play well to start the season and then things kind of get rocky. People asked us about are you buying the Raiders? I was like, yeah, they beat the Saints. I was like, yeah, I'd like to see it again. And then they lost. It's like, okay, I'm like still steady. Then they beat the Chiefs. It's like, okay, like my money's out, but let's see a follow-up performance. Like I want to see something big here. You know? I'm ready to, and it's early in the season. We just finished Week 6. So I don't know if you want to start buying things. I normally wait till halfway through the year. And I'm like, take my money. Like this is the guy I'm buying. These are my teams. But the Bucks right now, yeah, I want to see some more. But yeah, I liked what I saw. They played well. If the team's fully healthy, which they were when they played Green Bay, yeah, that team can be very dangerous. Yeah. And I think that's what we all expected.
Right. Yeah, that's what we were totally expecting.
And then he says, if I can figure out how to buy beer, I'll do it for you. All right. That sounds good. And if you can't figure out how to buy beer, just donate to the charity. That's out on offthefield.com. We'll just do that instead.
Yeah.
Well, either one works. Or buy a t-shirt. Whatever. Because some of that money goes to charity as well. But besides the Bucks and the Packers, the first one we got up here is the Ravens and the Eagles. So if my parents are still here we go. I
Oh.
don't know if the Eagles really ever had a chance here. This is one of those scenarios where the Eagles get down by a lot early, and then they kind of fight their way back. But the Ravens, they're playing some prevent. You know, it's what the Seahawks always do. The Seahawks get up big, and then they let off, and then the other team makes it too close for comfort. That's what always happens with the Seahawks when they get up big, and that's what happened with the Ravens here. And the Eagles like, oh, crap, you know, the Ravens are, boy, oh, boy, the Eagles are coming back. And then Doug Peterson happens. First and foremost, it was 17-6, and Doug Peterson calls a 2-point conversion. Why, I'll never know, because it was early in the game. That's just, I don't know what you benefit from. Instead of being down by 10, you're down by 9. I don't understand that logic.
It's still 2 possessions.
So that doesn't make sense. And he called a bad play call anyways for that 2-point conversion. And then when they're down 30-28, now you have to go for 2 to tie the game to go to overtime. And whatever that play call was, it was an option.
Oh.
And I don't know if it was Doug Peterson's fault, because after I watched it, I initially blamed Doug Peterson. Bad play call, whatever that was, it didn't work. But then when I rewatched the play, you know, honestly, it probably should have been called off. Carson Wentz should have either called a timeout if they had one, or changed the play at the line of scrimmage, because the person that blew up the play was Matthew Judon. The Ravens were in man coverage because they put one of the receivers in motion. You knew that one of the safeties was covering the guy in motion. You saw it. Matthew Judon didn't move. The wide receiver goes to Judon's side of the field, and Judon just kept staring at Carson. You should have, knowing that you were going to do an option play, you should have changed it, because now you have more guys rushing than you have blockers. And he's either and Judon attacked the point of the handoff. You don't have an option at this point, because you can't give it to who was playing at that point, because Sanders went out. Whoever their backup
Boston
is.
Scott.
Yeah, Boston Scott. So he already has penetration, so you can't hand it off to Boston Scott. So what's Carson going to do? He's going to try and rip the ball out and get around Matthew Judon. So at the end of the day, I put the blame on Carson instead of Doug. I put the play calling earlier in the game to go for 2 on Doug.
Yeah.
But at the end of the game, I put it on Carson.
Yeah. It was a read option, and Carson clearly read it very wrong.
He just didn't see what was happening.
Yeah,
he put a guy in motion, and he just ignored it. He's like, well, that's the whole point.
Right. It's like, well, how many other times does Carson have issues reading the defenses? Like, this is probably a consistent issue. Does he need to get LASIK eye surgery like Jameis did?
Yeah.
Like, are we having a vision issue here? Or are we just, I don't know. But, I mean, I saw the end of the game, and I was like, all right, Eagles are coming back. 2-point conversion. It's going to be something they're going to fake the handoff, do a little play action, and it's going to be tie the game up. We're going to go overtime. And that happened. I was like, oh, that's a terrible way to end the game, but I mean for the Eagles, but not for the Ravens.
The Ravens blew it up, and that was a great look for them. But yeah, I didn't. Even the announcers and I were on the same wavelength watching that. They're like, all right, play action, roll Carson out of the pocket, look for someone near the sideline or the back of the end zone. It's going to be great. And then they do an option run play to the weak side where Matthew Judon's staring you down. Good Lord.
Oh boy.
But they lost 30-28. Next up was the Texans at the Titans. What a game.
What
a game. I'll pull up the stats here, because that's what really matters for this game. Derrick Henry is now... Is he the first guy? No, I think there was 3 people in history. Here we go. Cue the music of me trying to remember something off the top of my head that might be wrong or right. But he is one of the first, or the first person to have a 200-yard rushing game 3 years in a row. 2018, 2019, 2020, he has had a 200-yard rushing game. And this one in particular was 212 yards on 22 carries, 2 touchdowns. Ryan Tannehill, 364 yards, 4 touchdowns and an interception. And Deshaun Watson had 335 and 4 touchdowns. He had a good day himself. You know, the thing that I wrote down here for this game, Deshaun Watson's reaction after they lost the coin toss to start overtime is exactly how everyone feels when you lose the coin toss in overtime. But normally they just stand there and just like, okay, let's see what happens. Deshaun, the Titans just went down the field and tied up the game and just torched you on defense. So you know what's going to happen in overtime. And they crushed him in overtime, win, scored a touchdown, easy win for the Titans. But Deshaun Watson, they lose the coin flip, and he just goes, oh, he starts like, he threw his hands in the air. He's like, man. And the ref's trying to pull him over, like, what side of the field do you want? He's like, who cares? You're going to lose anyway. It's just that way. Who gives a crap? His reaction was priceless. And that's how everyone feels, though. And the overtime rules need to change.
Definitely.
Jim Brown he was one of the people that rushed for 200-yard games in 3 straight years, I think. Is that what that might be in reference to?
Yeah, I would believe so, yeah. I mean, I know besides Derrick Henry rushing for so much in like another 200-yard game, I think that the biggest thing for stats here coming out of this game was the fact that Derrick Henry ran for 200-plus yards, and Ryan Tannehill threw for over 300 yards in the same game. Like, that's never happened before. That was the first time that's ever happened. Because usually, if you have a runner who runs for 200-plus yards, your quarterback throws for less than 200 yards normally because you're relying on the run game more. Tennessee was all over the place with, like, nope, air and ground. We're just going to roll down the Texans and win this game in overtime.
Literally just doing whatever they want. And their tight end, Anthony Fersker, 113 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean,
Anthony Fersker.
I mean, I don't know if you heard about this, but like literally Mike Vrabel does what he wants. Like, he put a 12th man on the field in the fourth quarter to stop the clock on purpose by taking the penalty.
Yeah.
And they're all looking at him like, all the Tennessee Titans are looking at him like, what are you doing? And he's like, it stops the clock. Like, he's all on the sideline, all mad, acting like he's mad, and, oh, why are you giving us this penalty? He's just acting like it was completely game plan. Like, he just threw a guy, hey, go on the field, and like, what's going on? And yeah.
Don't forget, this is a coach that came from the tree of Bill Belichick.
Exactly.
I wonder where he learned it from.
Yep.
Exactly.
Any way to exploit the play call, the penalty flags in your favor, they'll do it.
And that was just a loophole that they closed last year, or this offseason for the NFL, was Bill Belichick like doing multiple doing false start penalties or something to stop the clock for when punting, whatever he was doing last year.
Yeah.
They closed that loophole.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure
just because of the bill. Let's see here. The Bengals at the Colts. The Bengals went up 21-0.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so pumped. I was ready to come on the show and be like, yo, the Colts suck. They just lost to the Bengals. Joe Burrow threw all over them.
Uh-huh.
Dang it. The Bengals started out hot, but I guess they ran out of gas. Joe Burrow learned a valuable lesson in having a big lead, and I guess so did the head coach there.
Zach Taylor, yeah.
Zach Taylor learned a valuable lesson as well. The Colts made their comeback. As far as I'm concerned, Phillip Rivers had a pretty good day. 3 touchdowns, 371. I hate to admit it, but he started out rough, obviously. They went down 21-0. But T. Higgins is really starting to come on. A.J. Green wants to be traded. Forget about A.J. Green. If I'm the Bengals organization...
Oh, wait, is it A.J. Green or John Ross?
Well, both.
Oh, they're both asking for it now? Because I heard of John Ross this morning. He was requesting a trade.
He says he wants his playing time. Well, you suck, so you're not going to get playing time. T. Higgins, 6 receptions, 125 yards. Big day for him. He's had a couple big days here and a couple weeks in a row now. He's really starting to come on for Joe Burrow. Yeah, trade Ross, trade A.J. Green. Just get more draft picks and bring in younger receivers. Forget them. Like, this is not a win-now team. You don't need these guys.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Build it for next year.
Yeah, that'd be my take for the Bengals. But, yeah, they're 1-4, 1-4-1 now. I hate ties.
So basically 1-5.
Yeah, virtually 1-5. All right, the Falcons got their first win of the season.
Yeah.
They finally had their first win, and the Vikings are just... People are just drawing up scenarios for the Vikings on what they should do, including myself.
Yeah.
Because they've screwed themselves.
Mm-hmm.
This is They have put themselves in a horrible situation. They gave Kirk Cousins all this guaranteed money. They signed Dalvin Cook for whatever reason to a 5-year deal. This is an extension. This is on top of his, they just, you missed most of last season due to an injury. Come back and do it for 5 more years. And that's both sides of the fence, your quarterback and your running back, who is one is injury prone and one sucks.
Mm-hmm.
They're stuck. The Vikings are in a horrible spot if they can't figure this out.
They really are, yeah.
Because now they're 1-5.
It's not looking good.
Down the barrel of a bad gun. And then the Falcons, on the other hand, they're also 1-5. And they're I feel like they're trending in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
They finally got rid of Dan Quinn. They got rid of the GM. And then Arthur Blank comes out and says, Matt Ryan, I'll take him or leave him. Yeah. Now we're talking now. Yeah, I was shocked that the Falcons did not draft a quarterback during this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
I was blown away because I thought if there's any team that needs to start thinking about a successor to the throne, it was the Falcons. But they didn't take anyone. But now they will. I think this is their year. And if they can't get Trevor Lawrence, they can always get that guy out of North Dakota State.
That played one game.
That played one game this year. But he hasn't thrown any interceptions. Carson Wentz came from the same school, and he didn't throw a lot of interceptions either. So how much does that really say? Did we not learn our lesson? Everyone loved Carson Wentz. He had a great couple of years over there at North Dakota State. Look at him now. He's leading the league in interceptions. So just because Trey Lance is not throwing a lot of interceptions or none at all, doesn't mean it's going to translate to the NFL. Oh, but I saw one guy say, I've never seen a quarterback with the running ability of Trey Lance. Okay, great. So you're going to have Lamar Jackson 2.0. Good. If that's what you want for your team, Godspeed.
Yep.
Godspeed. I don't know. Your thoughts? Either team? Both teams?
I mean, it was good to see the Falcons win. I was thinking about it when I watched the game a little bit on Sunday. Have they used the fade red to black jerseys yet?
I think so.
Have they?
The faded ones? Oh, no.
Yeah, they've done the all black and the all white.
I mean, those might be primetime jerseys, and I don't think they've played primetime yet, have they?
Oh, maybe they are saving for primetime. I was just thinking about, man, we talked about how bad that jersey was, and we haven't seen it. I mean, I like it, but I want to see it in action, though. That's the thing. That's
a good point. I kind of forgot about that. It might be like an alternate. It might be a primetime thing, so...
Oh, okay.
If they have worn them, I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing how in the offseason you talk about that kind of stuff, and then when the season comes, you just no one gives a crap. You don't remember.
Yeah, it's just all gone. Because the
Chargers, New jerseys,
the Chargers have used a couple different ones, but they haven't used the late '90s, early 2000s dark blue with the gold,
which is the one I've been waiting for.
Right, I think that one looks really good. But I've liked their combo so far they've used. It's been nice, but yeah.
Another team sitting at 1-4.
Mm-hmm.
Just a tough break for that Chargers team. That's how it's always been for them.
Oh, absolutely.
Just losing these close games. They have a major losing record in games that are decided by one or less scores. Well, one or less, basically one score games.
Mm-hmm.
The Broncos kicked 6 field goals and won the game. The Broncos beat the Patriots. Cam Newton was just horrible.
Mm-hmm.
They only scored 12 points. 18-12, the Broncos win in New England. They kicked 6 field goals, and Cam Newton looked horrible. He couldn't run. He couldn't get away from pressure. And when he had to throw the ball, his accuracy was horrible. He lost the game. He missed a wide open N'Keal Harry on 4th down. Just a wild miss. Maybe N'Keal Harry didn't run the entire route, or maybe it was just a giant miss. Either way, he was wide open and Cam should have hit him. That was bad. That was a very bad game. Now, my question is, we want to tear apart Cam Newton and the Patriots offense, but it's Vic Fangio with Denver. And that defense, people hyped up this Broncos offense, and it's obviously not panned out, some of it due to injury. Did we forget that this Broncos defense used to be tops in the league, and maybe it's starting to come back a little bit?
A little bit, and they're kind of getting into the rhythm. I mean, the Patriots are still a tall task for a defense, which is, good for them to only allow 12 points to the Patriots, even if they were playing bad. But let's see what happens this week, though. It's a little interesting. They got the Chiefs coming to town, so I don't know. We'll see how that Broncos defense holds up. But yeah, the offense kind of fell apart early on, and the defense was still there, keeping them kind of close in games. So yeah, I think their defense is coming around.
My dad comes in and says, "Can we talk about baseball now?" Sure. So going back to Clayton Kershaw and
Go Snow.
We can only talk about the Eagles for so long. I'm sorry. And the Seahawks are on a bye week, so we can't talk about them.
Yep.
We can talk about the NFC East though.
Yeah.
Washington at the Giants. I can't tell you anything that happened in this game.
The Giants won.
The Giants won. There we go. They got their first win of the season. All right. Now everybody in the NFC East has a win.
Yep. And they're only a game out of first place.
That sucks. That sucks to hear.
What I think I heard it yesterday that the total wins of the NFC East is 5 out of all 4 teams.
The Cowboys have 2 wins, and they still have to play the Washington football team twice, the Eagles once more, and the Giants once more. That's 4. So that'll put them at 6 wins if they can at least close out their division opponents.
Mm-hmm. That's a big if, though.
So that's a big if. I don't know. I don't know if I'm leaning towards the Eagles winning this division after what I saw against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I know the Eagles have not shown anything.
Now, yeah.
No one in this division has shown anything that they're competent and they can play football. That's just a fact. None of these teams have shown they can do a single thing right. But that just means you just have to do something a little right. And honestly, if that half game that the Eagles have, that half game might push them over the top. Watch the Eagles be 7-8-1, and the Cowboys be 7-9, and the Eagles get in there with 7-8-1.
Oh,
imagine that world.
Wow, yeah, it's very possible.
But yeah, and then they go on this magical playoff run where they win the Super Bowl, kind of like what they do with Nick Foles. Imagine that. The Giants got their first win of the season. They're 1 game out of first place somehow. The Browns, and this is week 6, going into week 7. This isn't early in the season. God. So it's, oh my God, it's unbelievable. The Browns at the Steelers. The Browns got demolished, curb stomped,
something not pretty.
Whatever you want to say. 38-7, the Steelers won, and they had whatever they wanted go. Everything went their way. They had Baker Mayfield get benched in the third quarter. Unfortunately, the Steelers defense lost Devin Bush for the season with an ACL. But even after he went down in that game, I mean, the Steelers defense was still rolling. I mean, they're going to miss him.
Oh, yeah. He's still a loss, but they still survive.
Yeah. There's enough talent on this team to fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
And my dad says, wait until we get our players back for the Eagles. Who are they missing? Deshaun Jackson?
Is so long.
Well, Miles Sanders went out. That's a big deal. He's out for like a month. Zach Ertz is down.
Yeah, Goddard. I think Goddard's still slightly out. Might be coming back. I think
Richard Rodgers caught a couple passes this past weekend. He's like their third string tight end.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because Ertz is out. Goddard, I think, is questionable. They're missing a few linemen. Probably half the defense. The kicker, the punter, the head coach. I'm just kidding.
The O-line. Missing an O-line. They're not injured. They're just not playing. They're just literally not there. Yeah, they're on the field, but are they really there? Yeah, but I don't know what to think of the Browns, man. It's the Steelers. This is what I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I was talking about. They were playing well. The Browns were playing well. They lost Nick Chubb, but even 38-7, and just because you're missing Nick Chubb, oh my God, that's embarrassing. It was a bad game all around.
Yeah,
they did nothing right. It was very close to like the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you can say, Baker had his cracked ribs. I'll give him another week, and it goes both ways. When I say I need to see a trend before I do things.
Well, yeah.
So if the Browns show up next week, I don't know who they're playing off the top of my head, but whoever they're playing, if they show up and do this again, then I'm going to have a lot of questions. As of right now, I'll just chalk it up to they played the Steelers defense, and Baker was hurt. Nick Chubb is out.
I don't even blame Nick Chubb being out because he went out against the Cowboys and 3 other running backs ran for a ton of yards.
Right.
I don't think the running back's the issue, but I mean,
is Nick Chubb out for the season or just a couple of weeks? What was his injury?
I don't think it's season-ending IR. I think it's just a time. I think ankle sprain, some kind of sprain or.
So he'll be back at least.
Yeah, I think he'll be back. Probably towards the end of the season, but
okay.
Yeah, not lost for the entire season though.
Well, that's good for them at least. Maybe they can make a push at the end of the year. They're in a tough division though, so I think they'll be one of those teams that'll be happy at the end of the year when there's a 7th playoff spot.
Yeah.
The Bears at the Panthers. The Bears are for some reason 5-1. I can't answer that question for you. I answered it a little bit in my blog article that I wrote, but Teddy Bridgewater had a bad day, and it's just because of the Bears' defense. Relentless pressure, 2 interceptions. It's still a close game, and this is where I come in with this defense will carry them as far as they want to go, as long as Nick Foles makes just enough good plays.
Right. Yeah.
And I compared this team in my blog article to the 2013 Super Bowl champion Seahawks. I don't think that defense is that good, but that defense is very good. And then Russell Wilson was still kind of coming into his own. He was a very clutch quarterback. He would struggle throughout games, but he made just enough good plays to always win.
Right.
So this is where my comparison comes in. As long as Nick Foles doesn't turn the ball over, he makes good enough plays down the stretch, and the defense just does what the defense does. I don't want to say the sky's the limit for this team, but it's a very high ceiling.
No, it definitely is. I mean, that's that thing you said it. That's the key: is can Nick Foles make good enough plays? Because I feel like once the Bears start to rely on him too much, that's when they get into trouble. Because that's what the Jags did last year, and he got hurt. And then we got Minshew come in, and Minshew made nothing great. But then as soon as Nick Foles was healthy, he went back in, and before he lost the job again, they rely on him too much. He tried to do too much. He's a complimentary quarterback. He does just enough to get the job done, and you got to have a defense.
Yeah, he's just your perfect definition. He's a top-notch game manager quarterback. Mm-hmm. He has to go out there with a good defense and just enough pieces, and he'll make it work. He'll give you a lead. He'll put up some points.
Mm-hmm.
But if the game comes down to relying on what he has to do, tough times. Because I'm not going to say he's going to fall apart, but it won't be good. So the Lions at the Jags. The Lions won.
The Lions won, yeah.
They played well. DeAndre Swift finally had a good game. But it's the Jags. So the Dolphins played the Jets, obviously. Tua went out there and threw 2 passes, completed 2 of them. That was fun.
Yeah.
And it was their first shutout of the season. Was it the first shutout of the season for the NFL?
Yep.
Nice. And it was the Jets.
Yeah. That dumpster fire.
Here's the thing, though. People are calling for Adam Gase to get fired.
Mm-hmm.
Why would the Jets fire him?
I mean, by now they shouldn't, because they've already traded away Le'Veon Bell, and they're probably going to try and get rid of half their other skill players if they don't ask for trades by the trade deadline. I mean, the Jets are playing into Adam Gase's plan and Adam Gase's hand of how he wants this team, and Adam Gase is just not coaching this team at all well.
And the organization wants that. Like, let's be honest. You don't want to fire Adam Gase and then give a spark to this team.
Right.
You don't want you're gutting for 0-16. Who cares? Because then you'll have Trevor Lawrence, as long as Trevor Lawrence comes to the NFL. That remains to be seen. But why would you fire the guy who was putting your team in perfect position for the first overall draft pick?
I don't know. Yeah. I did hear a pretty interesting analogy about Adam Gase, and I was listening to a podcast it was a week 2 recap, and they were kind of talking about Adam Gase doesn't play. If he knows his players are bad, he plays like they're bad. He doesn't try coaching them up, trying to get them the best out of them. If they're bad, he just plays them how they are. There's no change. I don't think he's a good coach, and the Jets are clearly just letting him tear apart this team and watching him get that number 1 draft pick.
And then they'll fire him.
Yep.
They know he's going to be fired. Everyone knows he's going to be fired. But they're going to let him do his job and tear this team apart, and then they'll start to rebuild without him.
Yep, they'll tear it apart, trade Sam Darnold away, and here comes Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, poor Sam Darnold. The Packers at the Bucks. They started out hot, went up 10-0. The Packers did, and then all hell broke loose.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron Rodgers was under relentless pressure. He threw a pick 6 to Davante Adams, and then he threw another pass to Davante Adams that went off of his hands and then got intercepted. And after that, it just seemed like Aaron Rodgers didn't trust anything. He didn't trust his O-line to hold up. He didn't trust his receivers to catch the ball.
Yep.
He fell apart in the backfield. The running backs couldn't get going, which I expected the running backs not to be able to get going. That defensive front for the Bucs, it's one of the best in the league. I didn't expect Aaron Jones or Jamal Williams to have a great game. I expected Aaron Rodgers to be able to pick apart the secondary. That secondary played freaking lights out. They played with their butts on fire.
Oh, yeah.
They were hitting wide receivers. They were getting them off their routes. They were playing them tough. And Aaron Rodgers, even when there was open receivers, Aaron Rodgers was missing them. Mostly because he was under pressure, but the other part was he just didn't trust anything he saw.
Oh, yeah. He completely lacked confidence in his throws, and you could see it during the game. He's trying to put the ball where he thinks the receiver should be, not where the receiver actually is, and it was just a lot of terrible throws. And, I mean, maybe blame it on that celebration he did when they got the touchdown, because that was super weird.
Yeah, that's from the old Kringle McKringleberry or something from the Key and Peele skit. Yeah. He does the little 1 pump, 2 pumps, looks for the ref, 3 pumps. In the skit, he gets flagged on the 3rd pump.
Yeah.
Yeah. The announcers are like, I don't know what that's from. Like, come on, man. It's Key and Peele. What are you... Dummy.
Oh.
Yeah, the Bucks look great. Like we said earlier in the show, I have to wait to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see this team fully healthy. I want to see them put another good game together. And then, yeah, if I see some consistency, I can tell that Tom Brady has picked up this offense and they're ready to go. Yeah, then I'll buy it. Yeah, the Rams actually lost to the 49ers. Raheem Mostert played like his boat was on fire. He played very angry, ran downhill, ran people over, ran very fast, and then he ran his way to the IR.
Yep.
Which is terribly unfortunate for the 49ers. Yeah. I expect this team to go back downhill right now.
Yep.
After they lose Mostert.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're starting to see the trend there.
Right.
You know, Jimmy G gets banged up a little bit. That's fine. He's injured.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, they need a run game. Jimmy G needs play action. Jimmy G needs Mostert to be a threat to hold off defenses. That is what he needs. And without Mostert, he doesn't have that anymore. And this offense just falls apart.
Yep, definitely. And that's the curse of the Niners right now. If they're not running, they're struggling.
And injuries is just one of these teams can't get injured enough. These 49ers can't get more injured right now. It feels like if they get another injury, they'll just have to start forfeiting games. That's kind of what it feels like at times. Like they don't have enough players to even field. The Chiefs at the Bills.
Yep.
Yeah, I was confused right from the start because it was a rainy, messy day. And the first drive, the Bills throw 3 straight passes. And Josh Allen goes over 3 and you're punting.
Yep.
Why? It's a pretty simple game plan when it's raining like that. Usually you see some muddy ground and pound fun games.
Yep.
And for some reason, they tried to overthink it, overcoach it, and they decided, hey, Josh Allen, you're going to win the game for us. Oh, wait, you suck. Never mind. Like everything it was a terrible game plan. And from my perspective, this could have been a win because the Chiefs weren't playing that all great either. They played. If you did not have a scoreboard for this game and just looked at stats and how well the Chiefs were playing, you would have thought the score would have been 40-10 at halftime.
Right.
But they weren't. It was the Bills were always within striking distance in this game for some reason. So if the Bills had a better game plan, if the Bills offense just got anything rolling, this could have been a W.
Yeah.
But then you have to look at the other side of the ball. The defense got just manhandled. And you think you know why.
Well, national media is going to say because Matt Milano's hurt.
That's what I said too, but
outright,
I'm sure there's more, so let me know.
There's more to it. I was thinking about this earlier today. They drafted AJ Epinesa, who was the only defensive linebacker, pass rusher they drafted this year, early in the round that actually made the team. Let's see here. Star Lutulele opted out. He was a good run stuffer. We lost Jordan Phillips to the Cardinals and Shaq Lawson to the Dolphins.
There's your defensive line.
And McDermott tried making a point, which I think it was a good try because the practice squad guys who he had playing that night actually played decent. But Trent Murphy and Harrison Phillips were both healthy scratches trying to get a spark on this defense. And then I heard that Tremaine Edmonds isn't even 100% yet, and he's back there playing because they need him to play. And he's playing through a shoulder injury.
He's playing through a shoulder injury, and they're still taking L's. That's not
Yep.
good.
No. But I did like the was it Brian Cox? He came off the practice squad. He actually played pretty decent. He had a couple of good hits on Edwards Elaire. But yeah,
I thought both those practice squad guys played pretty well. They made a couple plays throughout the night.
They did, and it was
they probably made less plays than they made plays, but they were
right.
You could see that they were on the field. Like I think they had a spark themselves.
Oh yeah,
but they just didn't provide that spark for the rest of the team, unfortunately.
Right, and there was a ton of just bad choices by the defense. You get Trey White pushing on the sideline at the end of the play. You're already on the sideline and you push the guy. Why? There's no need. And you get Jordan Poyer tackling the guy once they're on the sideline. You don't need to do that. Discipline. And apparently it's lacking this year. Even with all those players gone, they just don't have the discipline. It seems like, I don't know. I think D-tackle and corner are probably the Bills' top two needs in this next year's draft. And I'll be honest, I didn't get hyped when I was excited that Bills were 4-0, but it wasn't like super. I don't think it was. You can call me on if I'm wrong, but I don't think I was like super hyped about it. Like I still felt caution with this Bills team because you know what happens. The big team comes into town and they lose, and I can only hope they bounce back against the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, every single week, they get the win, even after they're 4-0. I don't think you ever came in here like hyping them up.
No,
because September, I think you even said it. The Bills do well in September usually. That's their month.
Yeah,
it usually goes pretty well. Let's see what happens later. I think you called that. We said about the Jets for a couple weeks in a row now, both for the Cardinals and the Dolphins. The Jets are a good reset team. You took 2 L's. Your offense is struggling. Your defense is struggling. Let's get some motivation and feel goodness. Let's play the Jets, baby.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think just kind of wrap up the game here with the Bills. I think even though they lost, if you really think about it, the Bills lost to the top 2 out of 3 AFC teams.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it still hurts. But if those are the only 2 big losses you have right now, not terrible.
That. Yeah, you'll take it. It's not too bad when you lose to the Chiefs and Titans because everyone else is too.
Yep.
And then last but not least, the Cardinals at the Cowboys. The Cardinals pooped on them 38-10. Andy Dalton looked bad. Zeke Elliott looked bad. 2 fumbles on his part.
Oh, yeah.
The wide receivers were dropping balls. Michael Gallup dropped a touchdown pass that was right in his hands. Nothing went right for the Cowboys.
No.
And now they're still on track for being the worst defense in NFL history. They're averaging allowing 36, almost 37 points a game.
Whew.
And now you lost Dak Prescott. And here comes the apologies. Everybody was like, Dak's being greedy, ship him out. He doesn't win games. He's just, get him out. We don't need him. We're not going to pay you. After last night's game, Cowboys fans are Googling if they can donate an ankle. Can I give Dak Prescott my ankle? Please come back. We'll pay you anything. Even Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones stood his ground the entire offseason. I will not pay you, Dak Prescott, what you want to be paid. And then he comes out after he gets hurt. Yeah, well, he's worth anything that you put on paper. Dak Prescott's a great guy. He's worth everything to us. He's the quarterback of the future. Well, then you would have signed him, you. Don't come out here lying, Jerry.
Oh.
Straight up lies coming from Jerry Jones. And now the fruits of your labor, Andy Dalton getting destroyed by the Cardinals without even Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones didn't even play.
Yeah.
Budda Baker.
Oh, yeah.
Looked like Jamal Adams on steroids.
Oh, yeah.
Top paid safety in the league, getting sacks, getting fumbles, getting interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Buda Baker just made a name for himself. Everyone knew he was the top paid safety. And when he got paid, people were like, who the hell is Buda Baker? Well, you just found out last night, boys.
Yep.
You just found out. Buda Baker is a great player.
Yeah. And you know what's even scarier that the Cowboys played that bad is that Mike McCarthy came out and said that this game, he had felt the most prepared for this game.
Yeah, and I've seen some things come up recently in news that Cowboys players and people inside the organization do not believe in Mike McCarthy and the staff that he brought in.
Does not surprise me one bit.
Yeah, people are not liking this.
No.
I mean, I'm not saying Jason Garrett should have stayed, but I'm saying Mike McCarthy might have not been the correct pickup.
And you see this with Mike McCarthy with an average quarterback because when he was in Green Bay, he had Aaron Rodgers, future Hall of Fame, first round Hall of Fame quarterback, to carry the team when his play calls were bad. Like, how many times?
Aaron Rodgers to do whatever he wants. It's bad play call.
How many
Aaron Rodgers changed it.
Exactly. Like, we talk about Russell Wilson now, just calling whatever he wants, and the Seahawks are like, yeah, okay. How many games or seasons did Aaron Rodgers do that with Mike McCarthy up there? Probably the majority of them, because Aaron Rodgers is like, yeah, that's a dumb play. We're going to do this instead.
Yeah, run this play. They're in cover 2. No. All right, run the. Shut up. You had your chance. My turn. Yeah. I love those stories, though. Russell Wilson says his headset went out, and then he just calls his own 6 plays and goes and scores a touchdown in like 2 minutes.
Yep.
Just take the headset out of your helmet. Just if you can score your own touchdowns whenever you want when your headset goes out, just do it.
Yeah, because he knows the playbook that well too.
Yeah, he knows the playbook. And he's that
smart of a quarterback, yeah.
He's smart. He can read defenses.
Yep.
Unless they're the Vikings and they're in cover 2, then he has no idea what to do. Like 9 years in the season, Russell Wilson sees cover 2. Oh my God, I don't want to play football. Sorry, Russ. That's what I was just thinking. Because the announcers all night were just like, yeah, they're playing cover 2 and Russ just really struggling here. You're telling me Russell Wilson's never seen cover 2 in 9 years in football? He doesn't know how to play around cover 2?
Oh.
God, it's upsetting. That's pretty much our show. We went for an hour and a half tonight.
Yeah. That was a long
mainly because we wasted the first half of the show. Not wasted.
We got a lot off track. We had a lot of different conversations going on.
We had a lot of fun with people commenting.
Yeah. It's all about the viewers.
Yeah, we learned that microvophobia is the fear of microwaves and specifically the radiation that comes from microwaves.
Yeah.
So that's fun. What sign off do you want to use? We have a couple of options.
What are our options? Because I don't remember.
Well, there was the Xavier Woods, the motivational one that was don't be an Xavier Woods, always give 100%.
Yeah.
And then there was I was thinking we'll be back Thursday because Mama didn't raise no wuss. And then there was something with I'm not sure how to play it off, but basically about 2 hairy Americans just running a podcast. Those are the 3 options that I was thinking. We can let the listeners vote on it at some point.
We could. I know the last option though, we were talking about using that in the beginning of the show.
That's right.
We didn't confirm it and we forgot about it, but not a bad choice in the beginning of the show. I don't know.
We'll be back next show because Mama didn't raise no wuss.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So we'll be back Thursday because we can always just follow it up. Like we'll be back Thursday or we'll be back next show or we'll be back next week.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, see you here. We'll be back on Thursday.
Because Mama didn't raise no wussies.